trouble losing weight, need more energy, want to improve your health? You got a fitness or nutrition question? I probably have an answer for you. Hey, it's Yuri. Welcome to another episode of Ask Yuri. And today I've got a really simple kind of follow-up response to a question from one of our clients or one of our viewers, Jacqueline Mary, who's asking, well, you're saying to eat carbs at night now. What about protein? I'm a little bit confused. So if you're in the same boat and you've watched some of my previous videos where I've started to talk about why eating carbohydrates at night is actually a very smart thing to do, as it's going to help you lose weight and actually sleep better and keep your hormone kind of circadian rhythm much more in its natural rhythm. So if you're a little bit confused about when to eat carbs, hopefully this answer is going to make a little bit more sense for you. So here's the thing. The traditional advice is to have carbohydrates in the morning, right? Because the thinking was if you have carbs in the morning, they're going to fuel your activity throughout the day. So you're going to burn them as you sit in the office, right? Let's be honest for the most part. And if you have carbs later on at night, when you're sitting down not doing anything, then they're just going to get stored as fat. That's the traditional advice as it's been for the past couple decades with respect to carbohydrates. Like, would you not agree? Like, have you ever heard that before? And if you're scared of eating carbohydrates because you think they're going to make you fat, then I've got a very strong opinion against that type of ridiculousness. Yes, it's true that eating pastries and white bread and white pasta and copious amounts of sugar is going to increase your risk of gaining weight. It's going to increase your risk of insulin resistance or diabetes and all that other stuff. But that doesn't mean that carbohydrates are bad, right? Think about this. All plant foods are carbohydrates for the most part. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, fruits and vegetables for the most part are carbohydrate based. Nuts and seeds are higher in protein, but they also have carbs and fats as well, as do any other food. So by saying I don't want to have any carbs ever again is, you're kind of eliminating a huge food group. So think about eating more plant-based foods, but still removing more of the grains, right? Moving away from the breads and pastas and cereals. So here's the thing. Why you want to eat carbs at night is because when you, I watched my previous video where I talked about this in more detail, but let me give you two simple reasons. If you have carbohydrates in the morning, they're going to blunt your body's natural cortisol response that is highest in the morning. And the reason for that is because cortisol breaks down blood sugar or breaks down sugar in your body into the blood to stabilize blood sugars. However, if you're eating a lot of carbs in the morning, you're getting an influx of blood sugar, so that cortisol doesn't have to do its job. So then you have a lower cortisol response in the morning. Now you might think, okay, Yuri, I heard cortisol is bad. Well, it's not, right? So it's not about hormones are bad, it's about how much we have of them in the body, right? Cortisol has a natural rhythm throughout the day, highest in the morning, lowest at night. And if we do things to offset that, then we're gonna start running into problems over time. So that's one of the reasons why carbohydrates in the morning, not the best idea. The other thing too is that they just make you feel sluggish, right? So at night is when you wanna have, I would say, kind of I'm gonna advise you to almost flip the common advice, which is to have more of your carbohydrates later in the day and more protein in the morning, right? And you can still have your green juices and green smoothies, but get some protein in the morning. It's going to keep you full longer. It's going to keep you mentally sharper. And then later in the day, you can still have a steak and salad if you want for dinner. I'm not saying you can't, but do not be afraid of carbohydrates. Now, I'm not saying have chocolate cake before bed. What I am saying is that having carbohydrates later in the day is going to help you sleep better, because when you bring carbohydrates in, you're going to get an increase of insulin, and insulin is going to also move the blood sugar or the sugar out of the blood into the cells, but it's also going to move a lot of those amino acids. And as a result of that, tryptophan, the levels of tryptophan actually relatively increase in the blood. Tryptophan then is able to cross the blood-brain barrier, and tryptophan then converts into serotonin, which is a relaxing neurotransmitter, and then that converts into melatonin, which is the neurotransmitter / hormone that kind of allows your body to fall asleep. So I don't want to get too technical, and if I've kind of, over your head, I apologize for that. But don't worry about having carbohydrates later in the day. If total calories are the same, it really makes no difference at all. Okay? So Jacqueline, I hope that answers your question. With respect to protein, just eat regular foods. Just don't worry about this stuff. Don't fuss about it. Just eat. Right? And everything else will take care of itself. I think we run into problems when we start stressing about, oh my God, am I having too many in the morning or too many at night? Just live life, okay? And if you want more guidance on this, my all-day fat burning diet, which is coming out in December, is going to just take all the worry away for you and really show you how to do it very easily. So that's all for today. That's all for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm Yuri Elkaim. Remember, you can, if you've got a question, just hashtag ask. I can't even speak right now. Hashtag Ask Yuri on Facebook or Instagram. And please join me on Periscope. I've just started to play around with Periscope. It's a lot of fun. Join me. My hashtag or my username over there is Yelkaim, Y-E-L-K-A-I-M. I'm on there every single day answering your questions live in person. It's a lot of fun. So join me there, and I'll see you in the next video.